she won't last 5 minutes out there. Commander Nathan Bradley's words cut through the humid Colombian air as he watched Staff Sergeant Zara Morgan adjust her scope. The dense jungle stretched endlessly before them, hiding 14 cartel fighters who had been hunting American forces for weeks. 6 minutes later, the forest had gone completely silent, and Bradley was staring at her in absolute disbelief. This is the story of how one woman's impossible precision changed everything a SEAL commander thought he knew about combat.
Staff Sergeant Zara Eclipse Morgan had heard every variation of the same skepticism during her 4 years in Marine Special Operations. Combat's different for women. She doesn't have the psychological toughness. Support roles are more appropriate. But none of those doubters had grown up tracking elk through Montana blizzards with a legendary sniper for a father. Master Sergeant Cole Morgan had been the Marine Corps' most decorated marksman before retiring to the wilderness. He'd earned his reputation with 127 confirmed kills across 3 deployments. But more importantly, he understood that true precision came from patience, not aggression. When Zara's mother died in a climbing accident, Cole took his 8-year-old daughter to the Montana mountains and taught her that survival meant becoming one with impossible terrain. "Princess," he would say during their winter hunts, "anyone can hit a target when conditions are perfect. A real sniper makes impossible shots when everything's working against them. Weather, distance, movement, pressure. That's when you discover what you're truly capable of." By age 16, Zara was consistently hitting targets at 900 meters in conditions that challenged experienced hunters. She could track wounded game from miles through snow, reading signs that most people would miss completely. Her father had also taught her the mental discipline required for combat shooting, hours spent motionless in hunting blinds, controlling breathing and heart rate while conditions deteriorated around her. Commander Nathan "Iron" Bradley represented everything Zara had been fighting against since enlisting. At 44, with 19 years of SEAL operations and countless successful missions, he commanded his team with old-school principles that had no room for what he considered social experiments. Bradley had built his reputation on aggressive tactics and overwhelming firepower, believing that special operations required masculine intensity that women simply couldn't match. "Morgan's technically proficient," he would tell other officers when forced to work with her, "but when the shooting starts and good men are dying, you need someone with the killer instinct to handle real combat. Women are better suited for intelligence and support roles." Their current mission in Colombia's dense jungle had brought these conflicting philosophies to a head. Intelligence reports indicated that cartel forces had been systematically hunting American special operations teams, using the terrain and local knowledge to ambush elite units. 14 heavily armed fighters were operating in this sector, led by a former military commander who understood how to neutralize superior training with tactical advantages. Bradley's plan was characteristically direct: infiltrate the target area with his 8-man SEAL team, locate the cartel leadership, and eliminate them with overwhelming force. Zara would provide overwatch from a distant position, staying safely away from the actual fighting, while the real warriors handled the dangerous work. "Morgan, establish overwatch here," Bradley pointed to a position on the tactical map over 600 meters from the target zone. "Maintain radio contact and only engage if someone tries to escape. Leave the serious fighting to us." Zara studied the terrain carefully, noting elevation changes, wind patterns, and sight lines that Bradley hadn't fully considered. The position he'd chosen would give her excellent observation of the target area, but wouldn't allow effective support if his team encountered the kind of coordinated resistance that intelligence suggested was possible. "Sir," she said carefully, "if I move to this ridgeline, I'd have better coverage of multiple approach routes and could provide more effective overwatch for the team." Bradley's expression hardened. "Morgan, I've been planning operations like this since before you knew what a rifle was. You'll take the position I assign and follow the orders I give. This isn't a training exercise where you get to improvise." The insertion proceeded exactly as planned until it didn't. Blake's team moved through the jungle with practiced stealth, while Zara established her position precisely where ordered. Through her scope, she could see the target area clearly, a small clearing where intelligence indicated the cartel leadership would meet. But as Zara scanned the surrounding jungle, she began noticing details that preliminary reconnaissance had missed, enemy positions that were too well concealed to appear in satellite imagery. movement patterns suggesting a much larger force than intelligence estimates, most importantly, defensive preparations indicating the enemy had been expecting visitors. Her scope revealed expertly camouflaged fighting positions blending seamlessly with natural terrain, weapons caches hidden beneath false vegetation, communication equipment disguised as dead branches. The defensive network was too sophisticated for routine security. This was a carefully planned killing zone designed to destroy assault forces. "Steele, this is Eclipse," Zara's voice crackled through Bradley's earpiece. "I'm seeing movement approximately 100 meters north of your position. Multiple fighters positioning for what looks like an ambush." "Eclipse, maintain radio discipline," Bradley responded tersely. "We don't see any immediate threats. Continue overwatch." The ambush was triggered when Bradley's team was exactly where the enemy wanted them, caught in open ground with limited cover and restricted escape routes. The jungle erupted with automatic weapons fire from multiple directions, muzzle flashes revealing concealed positions that had been invisible until that moment. "Contact! Contact!" Bradley's voice carried panic and disbelief. "We're taking fire from multiple positions. Where did they come from?" Through her scope, she could see the entire tactical situation. Bradley's team pinned down in a clearing, 14 enemy fighters positioned in a perfect enveloping formation, and more hostiles moving to close escape routes. The SEAL team was trapped in exactly the kind of ambush that destroyed elite units when overconfidence met superior enemy preparation. "Steele, this is Eclipse," Zara's voice crackled through Bradley's earpiece. "I have visual on 14 enemy positions. I can eliminate the threat, but I need to relocate to an effective firing position." "Negative, Eclipse. Maintain your position and wait for instructions." But Zara was already moving. Bradley's tactical stubbornness was going to get his entire team killed, and she wasn't going to watch 8 American warriors die because of prejudice and pride. Moving through dense jungle with equipment weighing over 50 pounds required skills that couldn't be taught in any military school. The position she chose wasn't the one Bradley had assigned. It was a rocky outcrop, giving her clear sightlines to all 14 enemy positions while keeping her concealed from their view. Setting up her rifle in this location required climbing techniques learned in Montana and fieldcraft that came from years of hunting in impossible terrain. Her first shot was the most critical. Zara had identified the enemy commander coordinating the ambush through hand signals and radio communications. Eliminating him would disrupt their command structure and create the confusion needed to systematically destroy the remaining force. Distance, 623 meters. Wind, variable, gusting through jungle canopy. Target, mobile, partially concealed behind natural cover. The kind of shot that separated real snipers from people who could just hit stationary targets on ranges. The rifle fired. 623 meters away, the enemy commander dropped instantly. The coordinated ambush immediately began losing cohesion as remaining fighters tried to determine where the shot originated. What followed was a masterclass in precision marksmanship under extreme pressure. Shot after shot, Zara systematically eliminated threats with surgical precision while Bradley's team was watching in stunned amazement. Each engagement required different calculations for wind, distance, and target movement through dense vegetation that should have made accuracy impossible. 6 minutes after the ambush began, 14 enemy fighters lay dead in the Colombian jungle, and Bradley's SEAL team was alive and unharmed. The engagement that should have destroyed an elite American unit had instead become a demonstration of precision marksmanship that redefined what one sniper could accomplish in combat. "Eclipse, this is Steele." Bradley's voice carried a tone Zara had never heard from him before, complete respect mixed with amazement. "Morgan, I owe you an apology. What you did back there saved every life on my team. 14 targets, 6 minutes, perfect shooting under impossible conditions. I've never seen anything like it."
2 years after Operation Silent Echo, Master Gunnery Sergeant Zara Eclipse Morgan established the Marine Corps' most advanced precision shooting program at Quantico. Her techniques became standard curriculum, combining Montana wilderness skills with modern tactical applications. Male and female Marines alike learned not just marksmanship, but the patience, fieldcraft, and mental discipline that transformed good shooters into legendary snipers. Commander Bradley, now promoted to Captain and commanding Naval Special Warfare Group West, made an unprecedented request. He wanted Zara permanently assigned as his senior sniper instructor. Their partnership evolved from mutual antagonism to professional respect, and eventually to the unbreakable trust that exists between warriors who have saved each other's lives. I spent 19 years thinking I knew what made an elite operator, Bradley would tell new SEAL candidates during joint training exercises. Then I watched Morgan control an entire battlefield through pure precision and patience. She didn't just save my team, she taught me that capability has nothing to do with gender and everything to do with skill, dedication, and the willingness to perform when lives depend on perfection. The Colombian operation remained classified, but its lessons rippled through special operations communities worldwide. Intelligence analysts studied how traditional gender assumptions had nearly resulted in the loss of an elite American unit. Training protocols were revised to ensure that tactical positions were assigned based on capability rather than prejudice. Today, Zara's students, both male and female, serve in the most demanding sniper roles across all branches of the military. They carry forward her father's teaching. Real precision happens when everything's working against you. That's when you discover what you're truly capable of.
Have you ever been underestimated so completely that people couldn't see your true capabilities until circumstances forced them to look? Zara's story reminds us that the most dangerous assumptions are the ones we make about people based on demographics rather than demonstrated performance. Commander Bradley learned that when bullets are flying and lives hang in the balance, what matters isn't masculine aggression or feminine intuition. It's precision, patience, and the willingness to take responsibility for outcomes that others can't achieve. If you believe that true capability reveals itself when everything is on the line, share this story, because somewhere, someone is being judged by their appearance rather than their skills, not knowing that their moment to prove everyone wrong is approaching. Zara Morgan didn't just eliminate 14 enemies in 6 minutes. She eliminated every assumption about what warriors look like when they're saving lives through impossible precision. Sometimes our greatest victories come not from meeting expectations, but from exceeding them so completely that the expectations themselves are forced to change forever.
The after-action reports from Operation Silent Echo became classified case studies examined by Special Operations Commands worldwide. Zara's engagement was analyzed as a perfect example of precision marksmanship under extreme pressure, demonstrating tactical innovations that challenged conventional doctrine. 6 months later, Staff Sergeant Zara Morgan was promoted to Gunnery Sergeant and offered assignment to the most elite sniper units in the military. But more importantly, she never again heard a SEAL commander question whether women belonged in frontline combat operations. Commander Bradley became one of her strongest advocates, frequently telling other officers, "If you want to understand what a real sniper can accomplish, watch Morgan work. She doesn't just eliminate targets, she controls entire battlefields through precision and patience."